James? Is that you? What are you doing? James, what are you doing? Ow! Fuck, dude! That wasn't an accident, James. You shot me in the eye from 50 feet away through a telescope, man. That doesn't happen on accident. It's 1994. O.J. Simpson is tried on 2 counts of murder, Kurt Cobain committed suicide, and the first episode of Friends is aired. But ho, baby, it's not all tragedy, because Rare is developing a first-person shooter on console based on a movie. I know, it's a great idea. Originally planned to be yet another 2D SNES platformer, nobody at Rare showed any interest in taking the project, until director Martin Hollis pitched a design document framing GoldenEye as a rail shooter based on Sega's Virtua Cop. Once he got permission to head the project, Hollis started to gather his crew, and by the end of development, the 10 people that were working on GoldenEye, 8 of them had never worked on a game before. Martin Hollis describes their approach as sloppy and inefficient anti-design, and that's why the game didn't sell very well. Thanks for watching my video.
And I said gambling. Don't you mean loot boxes?
All you ladies pop your
Hold on, I have to take
your body,
this.
don't stop, don't miss.
What the fuck do you want, PapaSage?
Wait, what?
Wait, what do you mean what? You called me!
GoldenEye was the 3rd best-selling Nintendo 64 game of all time?
Dude, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about right now. You're the one who fucking called me.
Hold on, man. You mean to tell me that GoldenEye sold more than Ocarina of Time?
Okay, how about this? How about we try a little something here, PapaSage? How about we try something like that I like to call, please stop calling me! God fucking damn it, I hate these fucking poor people.
Yeah, okay, cool, so I'll hang up.
Because of the backwards design, they were able to break many game design conventions and philosophies in otherwise groundbreaking ways. For example, the levels were designed before the actual objectives. This is generally the opposite of what you want to do. See, they just created the levels and then kind of peppered in the enemies and goals after that. In fact, they didn't even decide to let the players free roam until after testing the second level, Facility. Personally, I think this is the best designed level because the end result is a bunch of rooms that have nothing to do with the gameplay, but you can actually believe that real scientists are developing real weapons in here. Wow, so realistic. Development for the game was no cakewalk though. When development started, people had no idea what Nintendo's next-gen hardware would even be capable of, let alone what the controller would look like. So they basically had to give it their best guess with a Silicon Graphics Onyx workstation running Nintendo's custom Nin-Gen development software. If none of that makes any sense to you, that's fine. I don't know what an Onyx works, whatever the fuck is. You just need to understand that they're developing a game for a console that doesn't exist yet. Rare founder Tim Stamper didn't believe much in the project. He kind of thought it was just a bunch of students goofing around, but to make matters worse, Nintendo started to lose faith in the project as well. When my boy Shigeru Miyamoto visited Rare's makeshift barn of a studio, he was really uncomfortable with how violent the game had become. He suggested that at the end of the game, Bond should visit all of his enemies in the hospital and shake hands. This actually spawned the credits at the beginning and the end of the game, kind of portraying all the characters as actors in an overly cinematic film. But despite this, Nintendo ended up actually cutting the funding for the project completely. But under some sort of developer miracle that you would be hard-pressed to find today, the higher-ups at Rare insisted on funding the game out of pocket. This immaculate level of trust between the higher-ups and the employees actually helped the developers sneak in features that otherwise would have never made it into the game, such as the multiplayer being thrown in last minute by programmer Steve Ellis, which ironically would go on to be one of GoldenEye's most beloved features. If you wanted to play GoldenEye today, at least on official hardware, you'd probably find that this game hasn't aged very well. But the console shooters of today have had 22 years to build upon what GoldenEye had made. Because back then, developers were still figuring it all out. Back then, first-person shooters were called Doom clones. Hardware was limited, causing split screen to look like your dad's daily PowerPoint presentation. And controllers didn't even have 2 sticks yet. But developers learned their lesson really quick because the DualShock came out 2 days after GoldenEye. Thanks, Nintendo. But did you know that one of GoldenEye's alternate control schemes has you hold one controller in each hand so that you can emulate 2 sticks? This is one of the most forward-thinking power moves I've ever seen a developer do.
The dents in the universe, I can see them. They're not flaws, no, they're footholds for us to climb upon.
The people who made this game are absolutely insane. This is the benefit of bringing in people who have never worked on a game before. These guys wanted to make the reload be tied to taking out a rumble pack and slapping it back in as if it was as if it was a gun. Like, what the fuck? But if you can get past the awkward controller and our modern frame rate standards, GoldenEye is still a blast to revisit today. The guns feel great, and the missions are exciting as all hell, and it's accessible to nearly every skill level. GoldenEye has a really interesting difficulty system that I wish more modern developers would take note of. Instead of just simply increasing enemy damage and health to just make things more difficult, they actually also added in more objectives for you to complete. And once you complete every mission on the hardest difficulty, you unlock 007 mode. This is a flexible difficulty where everything is set on sliders and you can make it impossibly difficult or hilariously easy. Add in unlockable cheat codes such as paintball mode and the big head DK mode and tiny bond. You have a game that you can play forever. GoldenEye is a game that will take you back to the days of sleepovers and cheat codes, a world to immerse yourself in, or a battleground to settle beef. If for whatever reason you miss this game and you feel intimidated by how antiquated this game has become, allow me to point your direction in the GoldenEye 25 project. A beautiful and modern recreation created by some really devoted fans. And also, it's Dr. Doke approved, so do you need anything else? Follow them on Twitter. Because in a world where developers can add microtransactions to games after they've already been out, I think now more than ever, this is a game that everyone should play. Thanks for watching. James, no!
Shit is way too easy. I swear it doesn't please me. I'm like a reaper gleaning when I take my pick and squeeze it and feel its power breezing. Soon be 6 feet deep. Believe I'm bored of being at the peak. So time to see what lies beneath. What's Gucci, my game?